You're listening to
Catholic Sprouts,
the daily podcast for Catholic kids that strives to plant seeds of faith. Hey there, Sprouts. Today is Monday, December 2nd, 2019. It is also the beginning of the first week of Advent. This week on the Catholic Sprouts podcast, we are going to start in on the Jesse tree. Now, we're going to be doing this a little bit different. We're not going to be covering every character that you will be reading about in your home Jesse tree, but we are going to be talking primarily about the prophets. But before we start that, we are going to spend today and tomorrow talking about Advent because we have entered a brand new liturgical season and also a brand new liturgical year. That's right. The liturgical year started new yesterday on the first Sunday of Advent. So happy New Year. Now let's talk a little bit about Advent in case you don't quite know what this season is all about. Well, Advent is, of course, the 4 weeks leading up to Christmas. We count down these weeks by lighting candles. Hopefully, in your church, they have a big wreath out with 4 big candles. There are 4 of them. Traditionally, 3 are purple and 1 is pink. We light the pink one on the 3rd week, kind of as a little bit of hope and joy. We're getting close. We're almost there. So we light a candle each week. Now, there's other symbols that we associate with Advent besides just the wreath and the candles. Advent is primarily a season of waiting. Now, you might not see this so much in the stores. In the stores, it's been Christmas for a long time. All the decorations out, you might be hearing Christmas music everywhere you go. But that is not what we are supposed to be doing liturgically. As Catholics, Christmas hasn't started yet. It won't be Christmas until Christmas. We celebrate Christmas on December 25th and the 12 days that follow. But right now, we are in Advent. And it is important that we celebrate Advent and that we actually wait. Now, let's talk about this. Why is waiting so important that we've made an entire liturgical season out of it? Well, here is something that St. Augustine said. St. Augustine explained that oftentimes when we pray to God for something, God doesn't answer us immediately. Instead, he asks us to wait. For example, maybe you are an only child in your family and you have been praying and praying and praying that God will send you another sibling. Well, maybe that answer to that prayer isn't coming very quickly. God might be asking you to wait for a reason. St. Augustine explained that sometimes we are asked to wait so that God can do the work on our heart first. Oftentimes, God needs to expand the room in our heart before we can receive his answer. So if you are praying for that younger sibling, maybe God needs to teach you some things first. He needs to teach you about sharing and selflessness and service. He also might need to teach you these things if you're praying for a friend, to have that best friend that you desire. Maybe God is trying to show you some things and teach you some things so that you are better able to receive his gift of an answered prayer. Now, you probably know this, but what are we waiting for in Advent? What are we waiting for? And God is working on our hearts to expand them so that we can receive. Well, of course, we are waiting for Jesus, the ultimate gift to the world. When God became man for us out of love, and not just man, he didn't just come down from the clouds as a full-grown man and king. No, he entered the world as a tiny embryo, the most vulnerable, the smallest thing a person could be. And then he entered the world at Christmas as a poor little baby born in a barn. So that is what we are waiting for. Take time in the stillness and the dark around the Advent candles to really wait with God and pray that He can expand your heart so that you are better able to receive Him. And so, Sprouts, my challenge for you today is to make sure that you are all set up for Advent. If your family has yet to set up a wreath, gently and with charity, please remind your parents that you would like to do this. You can use real candles or those little battery-operated candles if that's safe for your family. You can also make your own Advent wreath out of paper and simply put little orange flames of paper each week as we progress through Advent. There are a lot of very simple ideas, but my challenge for you is to take it upon yourself and make sure that you, in your own way, have an Advent wreath this Advent. That's it for Catholic Sprouts today. We'll be back tomorrow, but until then, continue to grow in your faith and truly sprout into the beautiful creation that God created you to be. Hey there, Sprouts. As you likely noticed, we will be talking about the Jesse tree during Advent. If you are looking for a great resource to use in your family or in your classroom to go through the various characters of the Jesse tree, I invite you to check out the booklet from Catholic Sprouts. You can find the details for it in the notes for this podcast episode.